Alright, so we got another game. This time it's between Catman, playing as 15th Scottish, and DerGaertner, or something like that, playing as 17th SS. A lot of 17th SS this tournament. I think all three games so far that I've seen 17th SS as the Axis side. Wow, that's crazy. So this was another of the round 1 games of Protozoccer's July monthly tournament. You can catch the other ones on the YouTube channel. But let's fast forward, get the deployment going. And this is a fun map, Sam Meriglis. So they're playing the alternate map, which has much more open sides to the city than the normal 1v1 map has, which normally you see this kind of stuff. It's a lot more closed, but once you reach the middle road here, this is much more open over here, and on this side, you have these big open fields that you're going to be able to play around. Either pushing over into this horseshoe area here, or pushing past this city into these open fields and orchards. Anyway, wait until we get all the units deployed. Looks like it's going to be a San Meriglis crazy time. Just wait a few more seconds. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do. So, okay, this is going to be a little bit less of a clusterfuck, I guess, inside of the center city. Just a quick check. Alright, so looks like we're going to see a lot of play in the city and much less on the sides. This makes sense. Both of these decks are pretty decent at city fighting. 17th with their excellent Stoßtrupp, and the what's it called? Wow, 15th Scots with AVRE, as well as just in general the fact that riflemen, the British rifles, have double Sten guns on a very affordable package. So they're going to be able to duke it out with the Stoßtrupp reasonably effectively. Probably not. They're probably going to trade almost 1-for-1, depending on the fire support. But you almost, but against Panzergrens in the city, rifles should beat them out in close quarters. So this should be a really entertaining city fight. Hopefully we'll see a lot of great micro. And on the flanks again, we're going to see some small stuff going out here. This is an AT gun rifle squad and some recon. And on this side, what do we got? Panzergren, AT gun, and probably recon. Yep, and probably recon. Alright, so in the center here, I guess we have the IG-18 going over here. Yeah, that's definitely an IG-18. An MG42 into the city. That's kind of interesting. I wouldn't expect an MG42 into the city immediately. Then it looks like a Stoßtrupp into the city. Or no, the Stoßtrupp is going to the edge over there instead of into the center of the city. I find that a little odd. I'd almost rather have Panzergrens on the edges, because these are a little bit more open. But he's sending an MG42 and a Panzergren into the center of the city, which I think is not the best strategy. And on this side, we're going to have some more Stoßtrupp going into the center, along with the commander. And again, more Panzergrens into the center of the city, where, I mean, I don't know, I think a Panzergren inside this hedge would be better. But, you know, we'll see. Yeah, so here's a Panzergren going up here, as well as a Panzerschreck, and that Panzerschreck is going to be really important. He must recognize that he's playing against 15th Scots, and that he's probably going to end up seeing an AVRE somewhere. That's definitely what that Panzerschreck is for. And then on the 15th Scott side, from Catman, we have the AVRE commander and a couple rifles going to the center of the city. This is going to be really potent for us, although I think this AVRE is going to struggle just slightly, considering there are a lot of Stoßtrupp going around here. So the fact that he's stopping out here is very good. Maybe he can just poke it around the edge, get some cheeky line of sight, attack moving back and forth here. And then he's just going to contain the rest of the middle, it looks like, with these Vickers guns. And on the bottom of the map, again, just a pretty conservative AT gun, recon, something. Yeah. Rifles. And same thing for the top. Very conservative. Yeah. So let's see how this plays. And more stuff at the top, MG42, AT gun. And again, I don't understand the Schwimmwagen with the Stolstrup choice for in here that much, considering this is pretty open field. I'd rather have a Pigren or a Pigren, but we'll see how it works. It's their game. We'll see how that plays. And the city going pretty much immediately to the 17th, but on the bottom, looks like one entire recon squad just goes poof before it even shows up. In the center, we're starting to see a lot more fighting. MG42 is getting some decent shots going downrange. A lot more riflemen coming into the center, and instantly a Stug. So this is how this is going to go, I guess. We see this AVRE Stolstrup wall of smoke in front of it. This is unfortunate. It's okay. So the Stolstrup end up killing the vehicle here, making this AVRE back up a little bit, which just sucks because this Panzerschreck was in a great position to get some damage going. As we keep going, rifles push across the smoke into Stolstrup. That was really unfortunate for the rifles. Good use of the smoke to kind of provide a wall there so the fire support can't kill him. Interesting that MG42 didn't go into the church. Maybe it did and I just missed it, but these guys are probably going to end up dying. The AVRE has a shot on the church from outside the village. Stug going real close range against the AVRE. There's no real AT. I guess he's going to bring up the rifle leader, hopefully try and get some Piets onto the Stug, but the smoke is really blocking him off. That's really unfortunate. But you might get a good shot here. And he brought up a 6-pounder to try and deal with it as well. Maybe rifle leader you'll fire. Doesn't look like it. Oh, as usual, the Piet misses. Slow the game down a little bit more. Using the 2-inch mortar a little bit, though. I mean, it's the only mortar he has, but usually I haven't seen much 2-inch mortar play out of 15th Scots lately. That's kind of nice to see, though. But really, just a big slaughter fest in the center. MG42s dealing ridiculous damage to all the rifles as they push into the city. Yeah, not really much else to comment on right there. We see a Phase A 170mm off map. These are only one per card. Interesting choice of unit. More Panzerschrecks and Panzer Grenadiers coming into the city, as well as honey and more rifles. Wondering if we should start seeing Catman stop pushing into the city, conceding it to 17th in favor of pushing the flanks more with something like Churchill 5s. But I think we're going to see a huge pocket of infantry vanish, as it were. And I guess DerGaertner does not have any more Stolstrup in his Phase A, as I would almost expect these Panzergrens to be two units of Stolstrup. So maybe we'll start to see Catman's riflemen get to tango with the Panzer Grenadiers. Like I was saying before, though, these guys are all getting pinned down. This would be a great time for a Stolstrup squad to advance through here. Unfortunately, all of them are dead. Except for this one guy up top. I think he should swing this guy around while swinging these Grenadiers to the edge. But we'll see how this works. Vickers gone, Honey Stewart. Panzer Grenadiers just unloading on dudes. It's ridiculous how much ammunition they now carry. Nothing remarkable yet. The AVRE finally getting some more shots going on. It does a lot of suppression damage though. Stug. Almost would have rather had a Q move. Because you have a shot here. Yeah, he had a couple different shots. Q moving that thing would have been probably better. And he's doing a pinpoint barrage, and this is a very nice pinpoint barrage. Wow, first shot onto the 6-pounder. This is going to do some great suppression damage onto the AVRE and Honey Stewart sitting there. Although they're going to be able to get out of the area really quickly. This might have been better to be a barrage battery. Again, just on the edge, like right here maybe. That way he gets a barrage battery onto all these guys. But this off-map artillery is going to be great because it's also going to like prevent the reinforcements from driving up the road. It's a long, drawn-out barrage. Looks like Catman decided he was going to test the waters a little bit up here and promptly found an MG42. And not the Stoast Troop Squad yet, but promptly found an MG42 in front of him. Yeah, still this slugfest. Another 6-pounder getting brought up, and here we start to see what I was hoping would happen. We start to see a Churchill 5 coming up to the bottom of the map. Hopefully that starts to be able to push down here, and Catman's able to reverse this +1 into a 0-0. We have that 6-pounder with the MMG carrier still up here. Interesting he didn't bring the MMG carrier up a little bit more. I'm sure it'll just die to the Pack 38, but you know, it's nice to see. Still just a slugfest here. Finally have a little bit of AA on the field in the form of a Black Bearling. Okay. This off-map probably only has one more shot left. And what are we getting? The Nebelwerfers with associated supply truck. Yeah, this is going to be some crazy nebbling. On the south side, we start to see the Churchill 5 begin to do some work here. We see it found an IG-18, and well, the IG-18 probably got shot back at. This Churchill 5, though, is going to the top of the map. He's really splitting this up a little bit. I would probably rather like both Churchill 5s on one side to begin really pushing something. I think this side is probably better for him, seeing as you're going to have a lot more opportunity to cut in and work on the reinforcements, whereas from this side, getting into this horseshoe is going to be a bit of a tough thing, and with these orchards here, I think he has a better chance of defending this side. That way he can swoop back, take like this part of the city. The reinforcement roads into the city are a little bit more controlled by Catman, and we're going to have even more infantry coming into the city. It'd be interesting to see if these are assault pioneers or something along those lines. They're probably just riflemen. Nope, they are assault pioneers. We're going to see satchel charges begin to make their way into the city, blowing buildings up on their way. Ooh, nice shot. I think this might have been the first or second shot from the 6-pounder into the Stug. Probably the first shot, considering it never got any suppression damage. And now the Nebelwerfers come out to play. This is going to pretty much destroy all of the buildings in this area from the subsequent fire. Not many buildings are left from the off-maps, so that's just removing more of the cover that Catman has to push his infantry into the city. It's really, really becoming that meat grinder that looked like it was going to happen at the start of the game. These guys are probably going to end up dying. Oddly enough, you don't see more Stoast Troop coming out of 17th guy. I mean, knowing what map this was, I'm not sure if the rules stated you couldn't change your deck at all, but knowing what map this was, I would have almost expected a second card of Stoast Troop to exist in the 17th player's deck. Anyway, we have a 232 autocannon vehicle. That's going to really help removing some of this infantry. But look at this, though. All these are so many rifle squads and other kind of infantry just clustered in one little spot. It's becoming such a meat grinder that some of these Panzergrens, some of these Panzergrens are going to start running out of ammunition. This one's almost out. This one's almost out. It's almost dead. This one, nah. But looks like Pioneers are the new choice of unit, though, for the 17th SS player. We got a Pack 43. Interesting choice. I guess he wants to remove these Churchill 5s, and he, well, can't do it with any other kind of unit for the time being. Spitfire bomber, removing the Pack 38, pretty much the only obstacle left for this Churchill 5 on the top of the map. Hopefully that begins to work in his favor. I think this Command Panzer IV might start swinging up there, but we'll see. And, oh man, look at this. This is such a cluster. See all these Nebelwerfers just having at it. It's, wow, that's crazy. Not much else going on. Pushing up here slowly. I think he finally found the Stovestrip. No, the Stovestrip hasn't fired yet. Finally found the MG42 again. Interesting though, DerGaertner still hasn't brought any reinforcements up here. I'd almost expect him to have some points banked up, just considering the tick was 20 seconds ago and we haven't seen much out of him. Okay, so he's bringing up a Pack 43, probably. No, I think it's just regular Pack 40. Interesting choice. He has 20 points left if he has more tick, and oh man, the stream of assault pioneers or riflemen that's going into this city right now. That, oh, I hope these Nebelwerfers are still on reload. They are. When these guys show up, one of these Nebelwerfers, probably this one, is going to be ready to just unleash fire and brimstone onto this column of units as they arrive here. This must be a mortar. It is a mortar. It's a good choice. This is such a bloody meat grinder. I'm gonna just speed it up a little bit now. I think DerGaertner has this firmly under control. Yeah, look at that. That was beautiful Nebelwerfer. We're going to see another one shortly afterwards. Yeah, Catman's just falling right into the 17th SS player's hands, pumping a bunch of infantry units for multiple launch rocket artillery to just remove it all. Yeah. Burn, baby, burn. Roast up some Scots. Again, more Pioneers probably. Now we might see more Stovestrip. Although I'm not exactly sure if that's what comes into that one vehicle. These bombers, though, that bomber didn't really do anything. Yeah. It's all downhill from here for Catman, it looks like. Although for some reason it's even now. I spoke too soon. Looks like should be a +1 shortly again once some of this stuff starts dying. These Nebelwerfers, though. One werf after another. Right along the road as their reinforcements are coming up too. This is a true meat grinder situation. DerGaertner's got all the tools for it right now. Stovestrip, Pioneers. Interestingly enough, the Pioneers aren't really pushing forward. Just these Panzergrens and so on are sitting in front, absorbing fire. Oh, these Stovestrip are gonna get a great little shot off on that Churchill crocodile. Yeah, it's pretty much over. Stug come up here to remove the Churchill 5. Great job with the Nebelwerfer, and that's pretty much the end of the game. Yeah, DerGaertner had a solid, firm control over it pretty much the entire game. Nothing really Catman could do after Phase A was over. He fell into the trap that is attacking the city against a superior close-range infantry division, really, with the Stoss troop, but most importantly, the constant blobbing in that one little space allowed both the Phase A off-map as well as the Nebelwerfers to constantly make those riflemen combat ineffective. I'm going to look at the Nebelwerfer in a second to see just how many kills there were, but just looking at the kill history, those Nebelwerfers really looked like they killed a ridiculous amount. The ABRE on Catman's side, did respectably. It's about what it should do. Unfortunately, it died an early death, and looks like the losses, though. The riflemen dying to Panzer Grenadiers and Stoss troop. Riflemen were fighting at long range against the Panzer Grenadiers. Most of the fight was just not advantageous with these rifles. Let's keep going. 170mm off-map killed 2 6-pounders, interestingly enough. I thought I only spotted one, but there must have been another one driving up the road. And the Nebelwerfers start doing their thing. Nebelwerfers killing 4 units here. Panzer IV-H killing a bunch of different armored vehicles. Crocodile, a couple command stewards, ABRE. Another Nebelwerfer killing something. Pack 40 doing some stuff. Another Nebelwerfer killing. That's really crazy. And anyway, that's about it. Drop a comment if you want to discuss anything. And yeah, alright. Thanks for watching, guys.